The success of Greater Manchester, it's argued, is crucial to the success of the UK. The Manchester Independent Economic Review, which was the largest study of its kind into a single economic area, has concluded Manchester was the one city region in the country with the size, scale and mix of assets necessary to act as a complementary growth pole to London. I've heard my city described as many in many ways, but never as a complementary growth pole. However, that's apparently what it is. The city region has in particular been successful in attracting high-value jobs, which are increasingly located in our regional centre. However, it's noted, despite being characterised by relatively high agglomeration economies, firms in our region do not exploit these as effectively as firms elsewhere in the UK, which is interesting. Their productivity is lower than should be expected, given the size of the city region economy. The region, therefore, punching below its weight in terms of productivity. Now, part of the reason can be attributed to the quality of the local rail service. Rail, therefore, is essential to the economy of Greater Manchester. Over the past 10 years, more and more jobs have located into the city centre. People are increasingly choosing to travel to these jobs by rail. These trains are now a victim of their own success. Too many are overcrowded. This then acts as a brake on the region's economic recovery if we do not act to improve matters. In many parts of the north of England, it is no longer possible to run additional services. However, the network is full. Growth in rail freight is restricted. It is therefore vital that support is sustained to resolve the worst of these rail bottlenecks through the Northern Hub project. So let's get things underway then. Sustaining the economy through rail. Chris Fletcher.
So what are the problems? Well, obviously overcrowding. We've got the Northern Hub. We've also got frequency issues as well around the numbers of trains trying to get through that bottleneck outside Piccadilly Station. North south, not too bad. You can get on a train from my home station in Wigan. I can be in London in under 2 hours now. That's fine. Great if it was a bit quicker, but there we go. East-west though, Liverpool, Manchester, Leeds, that key corridor of economic activity, that's where the problems really are. And also within Greater Manchester itself. No more than ever, the economic recovery is absolutely dependent on having a proper, working, effective local transport infrastructure in place as soon as we possibly can get hold of it. And that's the key thing. Any delays to this, any knockbacks, any taking back some of the money is going to have a multiplier effect somewhere along the line. We can't afford for that to happen. And the other thing is, of course, we're moving into a new regime of local enterprise partnerships. We've got a combined authority coming on in Greater Manchester. How can we make best use of those new bodies, those new mechanisms, to force Whitehall to recognise that there is money urgently needed to put into local transport infrastructure projects?
Chris, thanks very much indeed. Sustaining the economy through rail. Steve Butcher.
Where Northern can play a part in facilitating the economic growth in the north of England. The challenge needs to be there. You need to challenge us more in terms of getting trains on time and every time. One of the main reasons is that clearly we have a very old and diverse fleet of trains. The latest National Passenger Survey also shows that the majority of our customers believe that we offer good value for money, with our average fare just being over £2. Done some excellent work on safety, sustainability, and certainly last but not least, and this is one we are very, very proud about, is our community programme involving and making rail part of the community and part of the way that people live their lives, because we are very conscious that the rail is a lifeline to many people throughout the north. Current levels of overcrowding also mean that time is not on our side. Northern and its parent companies are very keen to engage further with our partners in order to unlock the value for money solutions, and that is critical as we go forward. We need funding, we need more vehicles, but I am personally giving my assurance that we want and will work forward with our partners to address the issues and speed up both into Northern and into the north of England.
Steve, thank you very much indeed.
And welcome everyone to our regular Transport Authority Fringe meeting that we do every year. If we are to achieve a rail network which meets the demands of our modern economy, we have got to find a way of making the railways less expensive. Now, government, of course, has set out plans to electrify the line between Liverpool and Manchester. And the electric trains that will run the service will cost 20% less to lease and 30% less to maintain. And they will, of course, be larger than the diesel trains that they replace. So, of course, we'll be able to carry more passengers. And will then, by that very nature, free up the diesel trains to be used on other overcrowded lines, and they'll be more modern, complete with the sort of facilities passengers expect on a modern commuter service. We're looking at the same time at the potential of tram-train technology. And that, of course, allows specifically designed trains to come off the railways and then go on to city centre tram networks. The hub proposals, electrification and tram-train are just three of the ways that we can bring down the cost of operating the railways, whilst additional rolling stock is essential to accommodate the growing numbers of people who want to use and do use our rail services. And that may most exactly something we can do.
I'm sure we will. Keith, thank you very much. Under Secretary for Transport, Norman Baker MP.
Let me first of all congratulate Manchester and its actives in the wider sense, for the campaigns they run, because they're very effective at lobbying central government of whatever persuasion for the needs of the area, and more effective than some other conurbations. Take note elsewhere in England. On the issue of steering the economy through rail, we absolutely do believe that just because we're in a very difficult financial situation, which we are, that's not an excuse to cut back on capital investment. And that we're going to have to get an economy running again, and capital investment in transport plays a part in that. And that's why the government has given the go-ahead, or reinforced the decision of the last government to go ahead with the high-speed rail. It's why we've given the decision to go ahead with Crossrail in London. And it's why I authorised the extension of the Manchester Metro link. All decisions that could have been cancelled by the new government but weren't. And that's a recognition, I think, that we do value the investment in public transport. We also have a commitment to reduce carbon emissions across the economy, very important, part of our objectives. And transport plays a major role in that, because transport has seen carbon emissions rise, and we want to see them fall. One of the ways of doing that is the investment which we've announced for electric vehicles and indeed green buses. Another way is trying to get modal shift wherever possible onto light rail or heavy rail. So for all those reasons, transport hits the button, both in terms of helping the economy and cutting carbon. So even in a difficult situation we find ourselves in economically, the case for transport is being made and is being heard.